right, let's go ahead and declare our very first variable. So there's two different values that we're going to work with today in terms of a variable: strings and values. So let's go ahead and before we even store a string in a variable, let's go ahead and make a comment about it. Remember, comments will be used by doing that // and all they do is they'll be read by the code, but there's nothing actually executed. So let's go ahead and say that we are creating, so the below code is going to create a variable named, so what we're going to do here is we're going to name a variable called user's name, and then we're going to write our own name in there. We'll see where we go with that. So create a variable named user name. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign the value of your name. Don't you dare type Miss Laskowski. That is not your name. To it. So what we are about to do is we're about to create a variable named username, and what it's going to do is what we're going to do is assign the value of Miss Laskowski to it. So whenever you are declaring a new variable, we're going to write var, and then you're going to write whatever name you want your variable to be called. You could call it bananas, pancakes, cell phone, post-it note. It doesn't really matter. But as we know, the more meaningful our names are going to be, the better that'll be for us when we start having lots of lines of code. So var user name will equal, this is called it's not an equal sign, this is what we call an assignment operator. That means we are assigning a value to the variable of username, and I'm going to write my name in there, Miss Laskowski. At the end of, we're actually typing in JavaScript right now. At the end of all your JavaScript lines, you are going to want a semicolon. And there you go. My name, Miss Laskowski, is now getting stored in the variable of username. Now, this little yellow arrow is here because it says that username is defined, but it's not called in our program. So in order to actually use this username, well, we're going to do the most basic thing ever, which is going to be to output it in our debug console. This is where your debug console is going to get very useful, because once you kind of start getting very complex code, being able to see what value is getting stored in your variable by just simply outputting it to the console or debug console is going to be very valuable. So once I run this, I will see that my name is now in the debug console. I can change this username. Maybe, someone else is logging in, and so I've got Anita. Now, if I was to click run, you would actually see that what's going to get printed in my console.log will be whatever name is stored in variable name or username, which is Anita. So ready, set, run. Boom, there it is. Now I'm going to go back, and that's not my name. What you should be doing is typing your own name. And now we're going to do the second part of this activity. We are going to go ahead and create a variable that is named age, and we will assign it the value of our age. And assigns the value of my age. I don't know. So what we're going to do is, there's only one difference here. When I'm going to declare my variable. So I'm going to say var. I want the variable of age to occur. So I'm just going to I'm going to name it age. And now the difference between declaring or creating a variable that stores a string and creating a variable that stores a value is values don't need quotes. So go ahead, type in your age there. And now remember, I'm getting this yellow triangle because it's saying, well, I define age, but I never actually used it. So I could do a few different things. I could do this. I could have just changed this value to age. Now, what's going to happen is when I run this, Remember, we read, this is sequential programming. Our programs read top down in JavaScript. And so our username is storing the value of Miss Laskowski. Our age name, or our age is storing the value of 35. And now I'm actually outputting my username, which is Miss Laskowski, and I'm outputting my age, which is 35. Therefore, when I click run, you should now see Miss Laskowski, and then on the next line, 35. Hey! Exactly as I predicted. Now, what I want you to do is to go ahead and just use your own values. Once you have done so, go ahead, screenshot this, and paste it into activity 1.